Hello and welcome back. My name is Justin Broom and you're watching The Weekly Sweep, WLCN's new online series giving you a new perspective on today's trending topics. Brought to you by our sponsor, By the Bean Coffee Shop in downtown Lincoln. On today's episode, we're talking about technology in today's society. In some new studies, scientists have found that the average person spends more than 12 hours a day looking at a screen. Most of it on social network sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Vine. Scientists have also found that spending time on these websites can inhibit society's ability to communicate with each other. Are we becoming less social of a people? Have we become too attached to technology today? To answer these questions, I brought in a couple friends to help. With me today, I have Anna Berry and Elizabeth Tripplett.
I'm Anna Berry. I'm going to be going to Eastern Illinois University in the fall to be majoring in music education.
I'm Elizabeth Tripplett, and I'm going to be a senior at Lincoln Community High School.
All right. So to start off, how much time do you think you guys spend online or on your phone in a day?
A lot. If I had to guess the amount of hours I spend online a day, I'd probably say collectively 8 or 9.
I'm probably right around that same number, maybe a little less. Anywhere from 5 to 8, probably.
And when you're online, where do you think you usually find yourself?
Home base for online things is kind of Facebook for me. Otherwise, I YouTube a lot or go to Tumblr, but it's a lot of social network.
I'm usually YouTube, Facebook, or I kind of live on iFunny.
So, do you feel that the amount of social networks that we have today and our constant access to it with smartphones is kind of a detriment to society or kind of how we interact with people?
It's becoming the norm on how we communicate. I think I do find that it is probably inhibiting the way we speak to each other in person as opposed to how we do it online. We are desperate to stay connected, I think, and I don't think that's necessarily a disadvantage to society.
I think it can be a little bit of both, because while it allows us to connect with people that we aren't currently seeing or that live far away, it also kind of makes us ignore the people that we're with. Because I know when I hang out with my friends, everybody's got their phones out.
All right, like you were mentioning how it can kind of hurt us as we talk to people. In what ways do you think that people are kind of becoming less social in person because of being on our phones all day, kind of texting, or just being online?
Talking in person and talking via text message is very, very, very different. You can say anything through message because there's a barrier between you and that person, and when you're talking to someone in real life, there's no way to edit anything you say.
I agree with Anna. If you want to sit there and think about a text that you're making, you could sit there for 5 minutes, but with a conversation, it's just back and forth in real life. You can't sit there and think, and I think not having the ability to do that kind of hinders conversation because you don't really know what you want to say.
Have you in your own life experienced kind of the after effects of this, or just kind of seen an example of it affecting people?
I think in my own personal life, I'm in a long distance relationship with somebody, and it's interesting that text messages can't be the only thing that we communicate with. We have to talk on the phone. We have to get the flow of conversation in person more so than through messages. Otherwise, we'd never connect otherwise.
You go out to dinner and you see other people around you, or even at your own dinner table, people always have their phones out, checking Facebook or whatever, and there might be a conversation, but whatever conversation it is, it's not being really listened to or comprehended because they're kind of ignoring everyone else.
So kind of elaborating more on social networks, do you feel like there are some pros to having social networks, or maybe just kind of technology in general in what we have today?
I think that people often focus on the negative things, social networking and like people being attached to technology, but it's a way to stay connected to people. It's a creative outlet for a lot of organizations and a lot of teenagers. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just don't.
Technology in general has taken our society so far. Like, there are so many good things that technology provides, not only in like other fields, but social media as well, because you can maybe have opportunities that you wouldn't have had you not had access to like the internet or any kind of social media at all. And I think it really can help a lot of people.
So when you guys are spending all this time on like Facebook or just surfing around the web, what do you kind of find yourself looking at if it's not just like kind of aimlessly looking?
Well, I either look at like funny pictures, like memes and stuff like that, or I have a lot of family that doesn't live here, so I'll like Facebook message them, or like if they post any pictures, I like them and look at them and stuff, just so I can kind of like see how they're doing.
I mostly use the internet to listen to music, so I'm on YouTube a lot more than any place else, just because that's where I listen to music. On Facebook, I mostly just read other people's business because it's posted and it's interesting, and there's not a lot going on during the summer for me. Otherwise, my favorite website on the internet, it's called List First, and it's full of like interesting stories, and so that's pretty much my daily routine on the internet.
So, as we've been talking about kind of how the social networking affects people's communication, do you feel like it's affected your own way of communicating or how you talk to other people in a way?
To an extent. I mean, I still try to stay relatively connected, like, without my phone. Like, I don't need to have it with me. I mean, I like to, but I can interact with people without having to have any kind of technology or social media at all.
I try really hard not to rely on my phone too much to talk to people, just because the way I speak and the way I type messages very, very different, and I feel like I'm more eloquent at speaking when I'm typing, and I don't want to be held to that expectation when I'm talking to people in real life.
So, do you feel that there is a happy medium between kind of talking with social networking and technology between talking in real life?
I think there can be, but you have to make a legitimate effort to not get pulled into all the social media and ignore the things that are around you and happening in your life right now.
I think that texting is not a place for conversation. I think texting should more be a place to plan where one can go have a conversation with somebody.
All right, I think that's all the questions I have for you. So thanks for coming in and talking to me and being on the show. So make sure you guys subscribe to the WLCN YouTube page and leave a comment down below about how you feel about social networks and any topics that you'd like to see on the show. And make sure you visit WLCNonline.com to see more of the Weekly Sweep and more of what's going on at 96.3. So my name is Justin Broom, and this has been the Weekly Sweep.